Now let's see how we can convert the character from our game to a class. What I've done behind the scenes, I've created a new file called as character.py inside my 06 folder. Let us go back to the folder number 5 and inside the game. So this is how our character looks like. Our character has a name, attack power, and life. We can use these parameters to create our own class. So let us go back to our character.py file. Let me collapse my sidebar and let's start creating a class for our character. So the first is the keyword of class followed by the name character. Let us go inside. The first method is always going to be the constructor. That means our underscore init method. So we can write like this, define my init. Remember, the first argument should always be self for reference. Here we can accept 3 different arguments. Let us go back to the game. So we need 1 argument for the name, 1 argument for the attack power, and 1 argument for life. So let us go back to our init method, and here I can say I want to accept a name, type is string, next is attack power, type is an integer, life, the type is an integer, and this method always returns none. Let us create some variables inside. Again, you have to follow the conventions. You have to write self.name, and let us take the data from this variable and put it right over here. So I can say name. Remember that you can name this anything, so I can just call this as n, but you have to change over here also. But as a convention, normally we would like to keep it the same names. So let me go back. The next is for the attack power. So I can say self.attack power would be my attack power. The next would be self.life would be my life. Let me add some documentation right over here saying that this method creates an instance of character. Let me add some documentation for the class as well. So this is for the documentation of the class, that this class defines a character. Now let us create an instance of this class. So let me create a villain first. So I can say a villain. The first one would be a character. The name would be Thanos. His attack power is 400 and his life is 1500. Let me print out the villain number 1. Let us save the file and let me try to execute this file. And here we have the output. But as you know, this is a little cryptic output. So what Python is telling that this is a character object at this and this memory address. But you already know how we can improve this. So let's start adding some of the dunder or the magic methods. The first one I can say is my REPR. The first argument is self and this returns a string. I can say return. So this is my class of the type of character. Let me save the file and let me run one more time. So this time we have a little better output. My villain is actually a class of character. Let us improve further by using our str method. So we can define it right over here. Str. First argument is always the self. This returns a string, and let us construct a string right over here. So I can say the name, it would be self.name. Next would be the attack power, and this would be self.attack power. Next would be life. So this would be self.life. That's it. Let me save it and let me try to run it. So this time we have a much better output. The name is Thanos, attack power is 400 and the life is 1500. Let us go back and let us create some more characters. Let me put up one comment over here. So while constructing a class, you can actually use key and value pairs. So let us create one more villain and let's see how we can do this. So this is my villain number 2. It is a character, and here we can use the key value pairs. So I can say the name, maybe this time it is Red Skull. The attack power is 300 and the life is 800, and that's it. Let me try to print out the second villain as well. So I can say villain number 2, just save it and try to run it. And here we have the output: Red Skull, attack power 300, life 800. Now the beauty of this key value pairs is you don't have to specify the arguments in a given sequence. You can mix up the sequence, but still we can have a proper instance. So let me show you. Maybe I can just take this out and put it here. And let me save this. Let me try to run it one more time, and still we have the right output. Let us go back and let us try to create some more heroes. Let me create one hero. So this is Iron Man, attack power is 250, life is 1000. Let me create one more. So this time it is Black Widow. The attack power is 180 and the life is 800. And let us also print them out. Let me run the file for the last time. And here we have the output: Thanos, Red Skull, Iron Man and Black Widow.